Yeah, I basically got out of the Marine Corps. My contract ended on March 1st of 2015,
Hmm.
and I swore in the same day into the Air Guard.
What were the minimum requirements for you to make that career jump from being, a mechanic or motor T in the Marine Corps to, in that realm in the Air Force? Was there any minimum requirements that you had to meet?
Yeah, so they have the pass test, which oh shoot, it's I can't remember what the pass test stands for now, but it's basically like a PT test to
Hmm.
see if you meet like the bare minimum standards. And then so I want to say so when I did it, it was a little bit lower. The bare minimum standards now was like 10 pull ups, 55 sit ups, but it's not like Marine Corps like crunches. It's the behind the head like full sit
Yeah.
ups, push ups, and then it's a mile and a half run. And I was like, oh, mile and a half run, but they want it under 10 minutes flat. Which, I mean, if you do the math, that's a 20-minute 3 mile. That's
That's
not
fucking quick.
it's fucking cooking, man.
Yeah.
And if you're only running the 10-minute flat when you get to the schoolhouse, you're gonna get left in the dust
Oh, really?
because man, those instructors just they told us we were every time we went on a run, they told us we were going like a 7 minute 30 pace. I'm like, there's no fucking way we're going at a 7:30 pace because I can't even catch my breath.
Yeah. You were a
And
DI. You know how to pace a run.
yeah, so once you pass that test, then you go do an interview with the commander of the unit, and you meet with one of the senior TACP guys, and they basically interview you and see if you're a good fit for the unit. And then for the guard, which I think the guard sets our guys up the best for graduating the pipeline
Hmm.
because we have what's called the one level program. And in the one level program, you basically get trained every drill. You go out, do land nav, you do we teach them call for fires. We teach them like all the basic stuff.
Hmm.
We PT the dog shit out of them. They go through spoke sessions. Like we treat them like they're at the schoolhouse, and it sucks while you're doing it. And most of the guys, it takes about a year before they get a school date, just because you gotta you gotta get all these physicals done. You gotta get a flight physical. You gotta get an airborne physical. They do like psych evals. So
Hmm.
then you also gotta get like your security clearance done before you can go. So it's kind of a lengthy process once you get into the guard. But
Still
I definitely
secret
think
clearance, or do you guys require TS?
so. It's just recently changed, but so E5s and below just have to have a secret, but I guess that's going to be changing soon. But E6 and above have to have the TS.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
So I guess if someone's planning on or they're considering the jump over to the Air Force or the National Guard or the Air Guard to do TACP, what's the expectation like when you get there? Like you showed up, you do your test, you do your physical test, you meet with the cadre or the CO and the senior guy, and they kind of do kind of like a book board kind of deal. I guess is
that's basically what it is. They just do an oral interview and
yeah.
just kind of talk to you and see if you're going to be a good fit and see if you have the right mindset to be the sole JTAC operating. I mean, you could be operating with an infantry unit or you could be operating with a special operations unit. You just never know really who you're going to work with.
Yeah, though, which is the cool part about being a JTAC.
Oh
That's the
yeah.
fun thing. So as a prior service guy, though, obviously most of those guys are probably going to the Air Force boot camp and then going
Mm-hmm.
off to their MOS schools and stuff like that. How does that work for you since you've already done boot camp and you're not required to do it again?
So I actually just I drove my car from Savannah to Lackland Air Force Base, which they have like the little annex. It's called Medina,
Hmm.
and that's where all the special warfare guys are at. Like the PJs and Doc is there, the combat controllers and Doc is there, uh, and that's kind of like the hub. So they send everybody out to like their schools. They come back, and that's just kind of like where their hub's at.
Hmm.
And I definitely think that being a E6 when I was going through, I had 14 years time in service when I was at the schoolhouse. So around the rest of the flight, I got treated the same way as them. But then the cadre would kind of pull me aside, and we would have like actual like one-on-one conversations, and they'd be like, "Hey, what's up with this dude? Like, what's up with this guy?
Hmm.
How's the morale with the guy?" So I got to see a side of the cadre that the younger guys didn't get to see. I
Yeah.
got to see like they actually care about training these kids, and all they saw was man, these guys hate our guts. We're getting our dick smoked. This
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I going through an Air Force school. I was like, oh, this is gonna be a cakewalk. And I'll never forget our first day. We show up to PT, and we didn't even make it through. So they don't call it the daily 17 for the Air Force, but they have like the order of exercises.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't make it through like the first 4 exercises, and all we were doing is just bear crawling around this muddy pit. And I was like, this is dumb. I'm like, I can't believe I'm actually doing this again.
Yeah.
And it was like 40 degrees. I'm freezing my ass off, and we're in little black silkies and tan t-shirts. And I'm like, this sucks.
Life decisions, man. That's where they get you, send you somewhere like that. So when you go through, what is the schoolhouse like? What does that consist of? Obviously, shit ton of PT.
Yeah, every day is a shitload of PT, and at any part of the day, if your flight fucks up, you might be getting PT'd again. But
real quick before you keep going, just to make clear, these guys that you're working with, are they all like entry level dudes? Are they the guys that go on to become like ROMADs first?
Yeah. So, well, it's kind of like it's a mixture. So the brand new guys after they go through BMT, they go through what's called Special Warfare Prep.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like an 8-week prep. I know SEALs have like a prep, and then like the Special Forces for SFAS, they have a prep course also. It's basically to make sure that all these entry level dudes are physically ready to make it through the pipelines.
Yeah.
Prior service, we don't have to go to that, so I actually felt like I was behind the power curve when I got there, because I was doing like a CrossFit workout, running and rucking every day. And I get there, and these guys had like college strength and conditioning coaches getting them ready, and they're like running 6-minute miles when we get there. And
could you opt into that though? Could you like go to that if you wanted to?
I think they're actually letting people opt into it now, but when I was going through, it was only for non-prior service.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So all the guys that were like lat moves, that were coming from other career fields that were trying to go to one of the special warfare careers, they did not have that option.
Okay. So now it's a big group of you guys then. So you got new guys, you got a mixture of lat movers from the Air Force, and then a couple prior service dudes, and you're all just getting hazed together now.
Yeah. So my original flight, we started with 57 guys. Mm-hmm. We had a couple lieutenants, a captain, 3 other. So we had 3 staff sergeants, and then I was a tech sergeant, E6, and then the rest were all like airmen basic and senior airmen, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. By the time we graduated with 7 guys. So
oh wow, geez.
Yeah.
And that's just your regular TACP, right? That's not even the SOCOM like pipeline that you have to go through after that.
No. Yeah, that's not even like the soft TAC B. That's just making it through the TAC B schoolhouse.
7 dudes. That's crazy.
Yeah. I actually got a picture of the original guys. And the funny thing is, the picture that I have of the guys that graduated, one more failed the final PT test, so he actually didn't even make it with us.
Oh fuck!
He ended up making it like a week later, but I thought I was like, God, dude, how do you make it this far and he failed for pull-ups? And I was like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, that would be a kick in the nuts if you make it all the way to the end and you fail for pull-ups.
Yeah.
Such is life, though. So what kind of training, like, outside of the PT part, like, what kind of training were you guys doing? You said you were doing land nav and stuff like that. Were you doing, like, medical and shooting and all that, or just straight TCP stuff?
So basically, they start you off, the first block is just nothing but radios.
Okay.
You're learning how to program radios, troubleshoot radios, anything that has to do with a radio, you're learning how to do it.
That's great.
So you learn about SATCOM, you learn about HF. I mean, you name it. We're pretty proficient with radios because, I mean, it's kind of our lifeline.
Yeah. That should. I mean, it has to be that way. And the thing about the Marine Corps is, for the JTACs, it's on the individual JTAC to kind of learn radios. Like, you're forced into kind of learning it, but there's no like dedicated like syllabus where we're sitting down and doing it. But it's like, you know, you're the only dude when you go out as the JTAC. Mm-hmm. There's not you don't have your team with, like, we always have. It's nice we have our fire support teams that we train with in the Marine Corps and stuff like that. You never go out with all those guys. You know, it's only you. It's like, hey, we want the JTAC. Everyone else can hang back. And if your radio goes down, It's the expectation
be
is
able to
you
fix it
got to fix
yourself.
it. Yeah, you don't got time for someone else to
There's
come fix your radio for you.
there's no so we were just the last Cats trip I was on, like 30 minutes before we were about to drive out to the range, the pilots call